Hello, you fucks. Welcome to John Solo's Beard Brigade. I'm John Solo, and hang on here, I'm retyping. I normally type in something under Alyssa's name, and today is holding down the fort because I'm very proud of you. We missed last week, and you've done all the work, but now it uh, has a nose whistle. There
No,
we
I
go.
don't. You could have called me an old woman like my boss did.
I do not call you an old woman. You're much younger than I am. I couldn't do that.
Well, you see my hair, right?
Yeah. Well, you're going
Platinum.
blonde. You're going blonde. Is that what you're doing? Why did you dye your freaking crew cut? What the fuck's going on with that?
Well, Mel was doing Mom's hair a couple days ago, and I just happened to walk outside while they were getting ready to do it, and she asked me if I wanted to do the little stubble thing, platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, sure, why not? I haven't been platinum before, so.
There you go, platinum
And
blonde.
the next day I went into work, and my boss was like, did you grow old overnight?
Because platinum blonde is old. Because he thought it was gray. Is that what he thought?
Yeah.
It was gray? Okay, I get it. No, don't worry. In a little bit though, you'll be like Pam Anderson because you'll have like dark roots and then the blonde on the end, just like all the girls in the '80s did. Remember
Well,
that?
this is not blonde, though.
It's blonde. It looks blonde to me. I
It's
don't know.
not.
Maybe my monitor isn't good. It kind of looks blonde. I don't know. Well, did you do like the rest of? Do you get chin hair? A lot of girls get chin hair. Do you get chin hair like that down there too? Do you dye
We
that
won't
as
talk
well?
about that.
It's a natural thing. We're human beings. We all get hair.
Well,
I mean,
no, it's not a natural thing for me because, well, I guess it is because of the polycystic ovarian syndrome that I have. So, yeah.
I don't have any fancy words for why I grow chin hair. It's just it happens. We're human beings. It goes on. Oh, hormones
Okay.
and getting older. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So
My hormones are out of whack. So, anyway.
yeah. Well, I mean, out of whack compared to what? It's. I mean, we all. It's a sliding relative scale. Okay. It's like ADD. Like I've probably got ADHD, right? So, but compared to what? I mean, if there's 5 of us in a room, so I'm saying your hormones are normal to you. That's all there is to it. And don't be embarrassed about. If you grow out the chin hair, you could be like me. So I say, stop shaving
No.
it. Just be
No.
another. Be. That's truly
Nope.
what it means to be in the beard
Nope.
brigade. You have
Nope.
to have a, you have to have a
Nope.
beard.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Get
thanks
fake beards
everybody.
around in GRL.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being patient. I know that I wasn't here last week, and I've been kind of working on my own here the last couple of weeks. I'm knocking out. I actually had to stop yesterday. I did like an audition and a couple other things, and I blew my voice out, so I had to stop and not really work. But I've been cranking out 4 hours a day or more. So
Yeah, we miss you too.
I'll be back. Don't you worry. I've just got to focus right now, and it is what it is. And it's a nice change for a second, but I already missed the crowd, so we'll be back. Don't you worry. We got a shit
Yeah, we're
ton
all.
of books here.
Yes, we do. Because we're all just like going, what do we do now? I mean, we've been watching James.
Yeah.
James did
great.
this. Oh my God. James did this erotica book last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was male, female. Me and Cheryl and Tracy were in there. And I got to say, it was quite hot.
Well, yeah, it turns out that, men and women having sex together is, I mean, it's not a. I don't know who else is into that sort of thing, but I mean, I'm glad that James is a fantastic narrator, and yeah, explore some other narrators in Discord for a couple weeks. Really, one of the biggest, dude. I'm like working in swing shifts where I'll do a session or two, then I'll have to take a nap to reset my voice, and do another session or two, then take a nap and reset my voice, and it's all kind of weird hours. But we'll get back to it. Don't you worry. Let's cruise into these books here. We're going to see what all we got because I believe the count was 39 because we got two weeks worth of books to go by. So the first one we have up here is
okay. Counterpoint. It's I guess a spinoff of Vino and Veritas. So this is In Vino Veritas. Okay. By J.E. Burke. Narrated by Tim Page and Stephen Dexter.
That one came out on the 8th. Next we had
another In Vino Veritas, Wildfire by Garrett Lee. Also narrated by Tim Page and Dan Kelly.
And damn Callie. Damn Callie. Goddamn you, damn
I didn't
Callie.
mean that way.
That one came out on the 8th as well. Next we had...
Words are hard for me this morning, and I
Words
knew
are
they were
hard.
going to be. What do we have? Joyride? Yeah, Power Tools. Hot Rides Book 4 by Jane Ryland, narrated by Ramona Master and
I just
Gregory.
I just noticed that your hair matches your wall. That's pretty cool.
Oh my god. Wow.
That's like if you lean sideways, like it's hard to tell where your head stops and your yeah. So
No,
like
wrong way.
where the wall begins right there. So
There you
anyways,
go.
that one also came out on the 8th. Congratulations on that one. Next we had
Somebody to Cherish by A. Tyler Jameson novel, Book 3 by April Wilson, narrated by J.F. Harding and Jack DuPont.
Jack DuPont used to work in the cleaning industry. That came out on the 8th. Next we had
Okay. Take Me, Duff Coven, Book 2 by Jada Marks, narrated by Eddie Herrera.
When you say Eddie Herrera's name, you have to go Herrera. You have to go like that. You go Herrera. And then we could get like the little... Anyways,
No.
that one came out on the 8th too. Next we had...
It did? It came on the 8th.
Hey.
Okay. We got Playing Games, Franklin U, Book 1 by Riley Hart, narrated by J.F. Harding.
And that one also came out on the 8th. The 8th was a big day, but now we're moving to the 9th. We had
Banished by Blood, Santa Cruz Vampires, Book 1 by Marie Booth, narrated by Tim Page and Liam DeCosmo.
And that one came out on the 9th. Then we had
Broken by Blood, Santa Cruz Vampires, Book 2 by Marie Booth and Tim Page, narrated by Tim Page and Liam DeCosmo.
Tim Page does a lot of dual narrations. This becomes...
Especially with Liam.
Yeah, well, I mean, I believe that they work in the same town, they're buddies and that sort of thing, but...
Yeah, and they do a podcast.
Yeah, this gets weird when you're discussing like how many books you've narrated. Not that it matters. This isn't a contest or anything like that. But some like I've narrated. The last track I had, it was 325. Now when you
338.
There you go. See, you've checked later than I have.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
actually.
When I say 338, there's a difference in finished hours because while I do dual narrations, I don't do a lot of them. So maybe, 30, 20 or 30 of those are dual narrations. I don't know, somewhere in there. But like when Tim Page will say, like, I've narrated 500 audiobooks, which he probably has, but there's a lot of dual narrations in there. So it's kind of half, you know what I mean? So I think that we should have like how many finished hours have you narrated, just to get like the 10,000 hour count kind of deal. I wish I could figure that out on Audible. I've tried to figure it out just to like multiply, doing like 5 finished hours per book as an average, and I just gave it. Math is fucking hard, as you know. Anyways, congratulations. And yeah, Tim is cranking out the work right now. He's working a ton. That one also came out on the 9th, by the way. Next we had
The Renegade, Texas Safe House Book 1 by Sylvia Violet and narrated by Michael Dean.
And that one came out on the 9th. Then we had
Rough Ride, Power Tools, Hot Rides Book 5 by Jane Ryland, narrated by Ramona Masters and Gregory Sell.
Rough Ride, is that a brand of condom? Is that?
I don't know.
When we played this Kelly's Island gig a few weeks back, the band did, and the bar that we play is kind of a shithole. We got to play outside this time; it was way nicer. But anyways, in the bathroom in the bar, they have a condom machine in the male bathroom, which you don't see much these days, which is interesting. Written in...
Actually, I don't know. I don't go into the men's bathroom.
Well, do they have condom machines in women's bathrooms? Do they have those?
No, they got something totally different.
A perfume machine? What? I don't. Anyway, so on the condom
Tampons.
machine, it has tampon machine. That makes sense. They don't have tampon machines in men's bathrooms, although I guess it's the 21st century, whatever. But on the condom machine in the men's bathroom, they're like quarters. You put a quarter in and you turn it, and you get a condom. But
They're usually about 75 cents.
it says written in marker on that condom machine. Somebody's obviously thought they were a funny man. They wrote for refund, insert baby here.
Wow.
So that one came out on the 9th, I think. That was the 12th. We're into the 12th now. Next we have
Malicious Midpoint, Demon Magic Book 3 by Alice Winters, narrated by Greg Boudreau.
You said Tremblay wrong. That one came out
No,
on
I
the
did
12th.
not.
The next one we have is an audio clip. Here we go.
Hey everybody, Nick J. Russo here to talk about my new audio release, Meet Me There by K.M. Newhold. Two men, dozens of cities, and a connection they just can't seem to shake. We haven't spoken in 15 years, and Marlin is the last person I expected to run into in a bar on Bourbon Street. He's not my gangly internet pen pal anymore. He's all muscles, body hair, and temptation. Our friendship feels like it never faded, but the heat between us is brand new. We're both in different cities every few weeks, hustling to build our careers and soaking up all the perks of being young, hot, and untethered. But our paths seem to be crossing more and more often. Meet me there. They're my new favorite words. Honestly, I think I'd follow Marlin anywhere. Does he feel it too? Meet Me There is a standalone, super steamy, ultra swoony, best friends to lovers, long-distance love, coming-of-age in their 30s romance, with very low angst and lots of happy mushy feels. Enjoy.
Now, do you think Marlin's, it implies it's a fish. Marlin is a fish. You know this,
Yeah.
right? Do you think why do you think, when the mom had the baby, right? Unless this is an impreg, because then the male could have the baby. But when the mom had the baby, why do you think, Marlin was the first thing that came, what are we going to name the boy? Well, it's a little smelly in here. Why do you think that went down,
I don't know.
I'm just checking. Oh, it's spelled different. That's what Tracy's saying. She's saying it's spelled not like a fish. Makes perfect sense to me. That one came out on the 12th, and thanks, Nick, for sending in that audio clip. We really do appreciate it. Next, we had
Levi's Love, Main Men Book 7 by Casey Wells, narrated by John Solo.
That's me. This is the last one, supposedly, in that series. Supposedly.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
She'll probably come up with more.
It's a fantastic series, though. Casey Wells is one of my favorites. She's our favorite Brit, and for the love of God, it's well written. But also, it's kind of the wrap up. This whole series revolves around a group of, I think it's 5 friends, maybe 6. I kind of lost track. They're all friends
Tracy
that kind of
would
went
know.
to school together. And this is the culmination
Oh,
of
apparently
all
there's a
those friends.
spinoff.
I'm sure there's going to be a spinoff, because why not? It's wildly successful. They're fantastic books. Anyways, that one came out on the 12th as well. Next we had
A Gathering Storm, Port Kennuck, Book 2 by Joanna Chambers and narrated by Simon Goldhill.
I wonder if she's related to Chris Chambers. That one came out on the 12th as well. Great job on the pronunciation there. I enjoyed that immensely.
That helped.
Going back to the little series that keeps narrators employed, we had
Unimaginable, In Vino Veritas. This is, I guess, the spinoff of, anyway, by Leslie McAdam and narrated by Morgan and Teddy Hamilton.
That one came out on the 13th. And also in that tradition, here we go.
Underdog, In Vino Veritas by L.A. Witt, narrated by Nick J. Russo.
That one came out on the 13th. Coming of age at 30. I'm not the only one. And how did they arrange it? Are these Tantor productions where they arranged these all to come out like same day kind of deal, or within a week or so of each other? And is that a horse that he's rubbing there? Or is that a huge cock? I can't really see that.
It's a horse.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because if that was
it's some publisher's Heart Eyes suppress LGBTQ.
Was that English you were just saying there? That was
No,
okay. Just checking. Cool. So, but I mean,
because they're coming out sporadically. There's 2 that are coming out today.
yeah, but I mean, so it's not Tantor producing the audio. It's actually a
I don't think
independent.
so.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Congratulations there on that release. That was also the 13th. Also on the 13th, we had
Friendly Fire, Never Just Friends series, book 4 by SAXON James, narrated by Alexander Sundis and
when
Kurt
they're
Graves.
saying Friendly Fire. What do you think they're? That one came out on the 13th as well. Then we had
Insatiable, Vino and Veritas, book 11 by Reese Everly, narrated by Cale Williams.
congratulations there, Cale. That one came out on the 13th too. Next we had
Project Hero by Blair Prescott, narrated by Kurt Graves and Joel Leslie.
I think it's Briar Prescott is what that is. And it seems to me like
Oh.
I've done a project for Briar at one point or another. That one came out on the 13th as well. The next that we have is another audio clip. Here we go.
Hi, this is Greg Boudreau. The Stonewall Investigations crew returns in Max Walker's latest, Ride the Wreck. Elijah Roberts might be sour about life, but as drag queen Blue Divine, things are oh so sweet. Until what started as messages from a fan becomes much more serious. A stalker who leaves behind threats like a murderous ghost. Ryan Diaz, the newest detective at Stonewall Investigations, Blue Creek, is used to ghosts. Or to being ghosted, at least. He feels like a zombie himself until Blue Divine shows up in his life. But can he solve the mystery of Elijah's stalker and find joy again? And can he do it in time? Available now from Tantor Audio.
Was that character's name Blue Divine? Is that what Greg said there?
Yes. And I was just looking at the cover while he was reading. Is he in his underwear?
Mm-hmm. Tidy whities. Nothing wrong with tidy whities.
With a jacket and a shirt.
It's like we were talking about earlier, where women get, just like men, they get chin hair. It's hormones, is what it is. So that's tidy whities.
And he's got wheat in his mouth, I guess. I don't know. At least he's wearing a shirt.
Well, the last guy was stroking a horse cock, so this one is, I mean, that's much more natural, I think. That one came out on the 13th as well. Greg, thank you so much for sending that in. And Max Walker is fantastic. I've heard so much about Max Walker, but I've never actually read a Max Walker book. So have you read any Max Walker stuff?
Not yet. I do have one either in my wish list or I bought it during this whole big Audible sale that's going on right now.
Maybe that's like the new college way to dress too, because I'm getting a little bit old to keep track of like the trends and that sort of thing. You're in Florida. I mean, that's
I'm not.
Oh, that's right. That's so you don't know how people dress these days. Maybe that's how you go to school now. I don't know. I haven't been to Wally World in a while. I'm not sure what the new trends. But anyways, congratulations on that release. Next we had
Imitate the Dawn. I think that says imitate. Yeah. Is that what it says?
yes.
Okay. White Thorn Agency Book 3 by M.A. Grant and narrated by John Solo.
I'm incredibly excited about this release because M.A. Grant is one of the best authors out there in the industry by far, in my humble opinion. And this has been a long time coming. There's been a lot of people that have been waiting for this. And this is a different type of series all the way around. So this is, I guess you would say paranormal. It's certainly vampire.
Isn't this the one Jivka's been waiting on?
Absolutely.
I think.
There are M.A. Grant has her fans, and they are rabid, to say the least, because there's really not many authors like her out there. But anyways, I'm incredibly excited, and this is the wrap-up of this series. I seriously doubt that there's going to be any more in this. So it's a 3-book series. This is the last one, and I'm excited for it. That one came out on the 13th. Next we had
Mr. Romance, Franklin U. Book 3 by Louisa Masters, narrated by Greg Boudreau. And no, I did not say that wrong.
Tremblay. Yeah, does the top right of that cover say "F-U"? Is that?
Yes, it does.
All right, I'm just making sure there. He's doing the.
It's a whole series. It's like a whole series with different authors and narrators and.
F-U University. I get it.
Yeah, Franklin. Yeah.
Have you checked out any of them at all?
Actually, this one I did. I didn't finish it, though.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't for you.
No, it
Obviously,
wasn't.
the guy on the cover, he's a very handsome man, we'll say that. That one came out on the
Yep.
13th as well. Next we had...
The Rock Stars Familiar Mates Book 3 by T.J. Nichols, narrated by Matt Stevens.
Is this like a magic deal? Because a familiar is normally like a wizard will have a familiar.
Yeah.
That's
As far as I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked it out.
Don't know what his familiar is. Could be a dragon, could be anything. I don't know what's on the cover there.
I'm trying to look. We don't really know. That one came out on the 14th as well. Next, what we have is an audio clip here. Here we go.
Hello, John and Melissa. Thanks so much for having me on the show again. This is Kevin Earlywine. I'm here to talk about the new title that was released, Victor, Tangled Tentacles Book 2, written by the wonderful duo Lisa Oliver and J.P. Sale. I know if tentacles are involved, Melissa will be listening to this one. And if not this book, there are 3 more books in this series left for you to get your tentacle fix, Melissa. Please enjoy this blurb about Victor. Azim Boaz is a hard-working vampire who takes care of his family until his freedom is taken from him. Drugged and kidnapped, Azim is sold to a sadist. His strength and spirit are whittled away by his cruel captor, but hope arrives in the form of a tentacled savior. Working as a consultant on a missing person case, Victor Thalassa catches the scent of his mate, one of the missing paranormals he's searching for. Despite the connection between them, Victor doesn't want to make the silent vampire his until Azim is strong enough to make his own choices. Azim's kidnappers want him back. Will Victor and the rest of the Shadow team be able to discover who is behind the kidnapping ring and keep Azim safe? Victor is a paranormal gay romance with a vampire with an inner strength that rivals the world's strongest man, and a kraken who learns the true meaning of finding the heart of himself in another. This is the second book in the Tangled Tentacle series. Each book in this series will deal with a new couple. Therefore, while the happily ever after is guaranteed, the epilogue for each book will lead into the next title. Thanks so much for having me on the show, John and Melissa, and we'll chat again real soon with more tentacles.
That is so fantastic.
Yeah, he sent me that, and when I listened to it, I just busted out laughing. I'm going, oh my gosh.
Did you ever suspect, like when you were living in Florida, and you know, there's alligators. There's lots of alligators in Florida. They're all over the place. You could just driving down the road, you could run over one. Did you ever because alligators, they kind of that tail. Do you ever see one of them and you just think to yourself, "Wow"?
No.
Okay, I'm just making. Do you ever eat alligator tail before?
No.
I heard it's delicious.
No.
So nothing like that whatsoever. You know. Now you see. Now I got you thinking. You're like, well, wait a minute. Did I? I don't know what she put in them eggs. Thank you so much, Kevin. You have got like dead on accuracy to Alyssa Gramling. She didn't used to like tentacles. She used to tentacles. I don't know about that. And then we got her into it, and there was no looking back. It's hard. Thank you. That was perfect.
Well, apparently this one's got like tentacles and vampires, 2 things which I really do like. So I may end up checking it out.
If there was a tentacle vampire book out there, man, that would be like, you know what a Venn diagram is? You know,
hey, Kat,
over here
where are
you
you?
One thing, and then the tentacle vampire book. Yeah. Kat, please don't link that in the description below. That one came out, I believe, on the, let me see here, on the 14th. Congratulations
yeah, Kat, that's your
on
next,
that.
That's your next project, Tentacle Vampires.
Exactly. Next we had...
The Bureau, Volume 3, includes Caroled and Camouflage, by Kim Fielding, narrated by Joe Leslie.
It's been a long time since I've talked to Kim. We should get Kim on Talk to the Beard. I absolutely love her to death. She's fantastic. That one came out on the 14th. Next we had...
What did we have? Oh, Elusive Relations, Valor and Doyle, Book 2, by Nikki James, and narrated by Nick J. Russo.
That one was on the 14th. Then we had...
Everybody's been busy. The Cuckoo's Call, by Lily Morton, narrated by Joe Leslie.
That one came out on the 15th as well. Then we had...
His Craving Werewolf, by Wolfgang Glasscock, narrated by Ethan Shaw.
Okay, that cannot be his real name, okay? There's no chance. No chance. And Wolfgang, okay, I can see that. But Glasscock is the last name? I mean, come on, at least
Yeah.
try and fool us a little bit here. That one came out on the 15th as well. The next one we have is our final audio clip of the day. Here we go.
Hey there, Ramblin' Gramlin Show. I'm Lance West, and I am so excited to tell you that All Revved Up, Writing Home, Book 2 by Amy Bellows has just released. All Revved Up is the sequel to the ever-popular Fairy Daddy by Amy Bellows. Here's a synopsis. Building a life together is a lot more complicated than a road trip. When Chris, Rev, and Gray bond, they live thousands of miles away from each other. Rev and Chris live in Rixton, where Chris has tenure at a prestigious university and Rev has worked for his family business for over a decade. But Rixton is in Southern California, and Gray is half polar bear shifter. The summer heat is completely unbearable for him. Gray has lived in Anchorage his entire life, and he wants to stay. But that would mean Chris giving up his dream job and Rev leaving his family in a lurch. He can't ask that of his mates. When Rev finally figures out which of his many lovers got him pregnant, the answer may change everything. All Revved Up is an MMM romance set in the Omegaverse with Mpreg and nesting. It's the sequel to Fairy Daddy, and will not make sense unless you've read the first book. Also includes characters from the Alaskan Pebble Gifters series. Thanks so much, guys. Hope you love it.
Thank you so much, Lance. I appreciate that. Thanks, everyone, for sending in these. It really makes the show a lot more fun when we have some of these samples. And it actually sounds like we know what we're doing for a second here. Professional narrators actually reading these.
And I do have Fairy Daddy in my library and Audible.
Nice. I have not, I hate to say I've not heard, I don't remember those. I know everybody knows Amy Bellows and everybody knows Lance, but I don't remember the Fairy Daddy series popping up in here before. I'm sure it did, but I don't remember.
It did like several months ago.
Yeah. Oh, Jody earlier today. Just out of the blue, I just finished prepping the show. I went in to get a cup of coffee. About 10 minutes before Alyssa will jump in VMix, and she's getting ready to go. And I take great pleasure in not flipping over to her again to the last segment. Anyways, I go in the house and I get my cup of coffee, and I hear Jody ask me, where does Alyssa find all these books? Like, what's her search term? And I said, I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea how you find these releases. Is there like a search? Do you put in MM Audio and Amazon? How do you do this?
No, Courtney Bassett sent me a link for like all the new releases, and I just go on there, or I will search in Audible if they don't happen to show up in Amazon, or I will search by narrator.
Well, I know Courtney has been at this for a long time. Are you coordinating with Courtney every week on this?
No, I've got the link saved in my bookmarks, so I just pop. Oh, I keep it open, except on the weekends because nothing ever comes out.
Well, we know that you never close your browser, so that makes perfect sense
I
to me.
do close my browser.
That one came out on the 16th as well. Next we had...
I lost my place. There we go. Yeah. Fire and Onyx. Carlisle Deputies Book 5 by Andrew Gray, narrated by Miller Stevens.
That one came out on the 16th, and good to see our buddy Andrew Gray doing some more audio there. Then we had
Gutsy by Kai Brightly, narrated by Keval Shaha.
Shaha. Is that how you say that?
Shaha. I think so.
I don't know. That one came out on the 19th, too. Then we had
Rhythm of Us, Faded Hearts Book 2 by Amy Nicole Walker, narrated by Connor Brown.
There's a lot of books that came out in the last 2 weeks. You notice that? Like, even more than... I realize we're doing a double book release, but there was a lot of books that came out. I hope that... I constantly see, like, in the comments here, and sometimes on the YouTube videos as well, I constantly see people are like, oh, I want that one. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now.
Yep.
That one came out on the 20th. Next we had
A Heart Back Home, Heart Home Family Book 1 by Andrew Gray, narrated by Joshua McRae.
Excellent. That one came out on the 21st. Then we had
Kinship and Kindness, a Paranormal Society Romance Book 1 by Kara Jorgensen, narrated by Jack R.R. Evans.
I wonder what the RR stands for.
No idea.
None? Come on.
No.
Come up with
Railroad.
I knew you were going to go there. That's a foxy looking cover there as well. That one came out on the 21st. Then we had
The Dating Disaster, Franklin U. Book 2 by SAXON James, narrated by Tim Page.
Tim, you are a busy man. That was another
Yes.
FU book. That one came out on the 21st. Congratulations, Tim Page. Now, to what Sandy said, Rough Rider. Wow. Look at that. Is there like a
I was
preference?
actually thinking that too.
I always wondered that, like with the ribbed for her pleasure and all, like, because I haven't used condoms since the fucking 90s.
They don't work.
I don't fucking know. Really? I mean, what? Condoms don't work, or the ribbed for your pleasure doesn't work?
Ribbed.
I don't.
As
That's
far
what
as
I
I know,
wondered.
they
Like,
didn't work
like
like
does
10
that
years
shit
ago,
actually?
but I
Does
don't
it actually feel good to the other person there? I mean, because I don't. Again, I don't fucking use them. You're saying no. You're saying no. Those
I
don't
don't
work.
have a clue because it's been a while.
If somebody knows if ribbed for your pleasure works, they just please let me know in the comments. Now, whatever everybody's been waiting for here, and there's a lot of them here. Lissa looks like she went on a listening and reading rampage. We're going to start out here.
Something for.
Yeah, that's a lot of books, man. And I knew that this was coming.
I had 2 weeks.
Everybody knew that this one was coming here. First off, here we go.
All right. Sunday's Best by Riley Hart. I gave this one 3. 3 bullets.
3 fingers.
We did this one. No, 3 bullets. 3
Oh,
fingers.
sorry.
Oh my God,
I'm not
no.
sure how you work out. It's when you're not
We did
talking that
this-
I hear the nose whistle, by the way. It's not when you're talking. It's when you're not talking I hear the nose whistle.
I blew my nose. Anyway, we did this one for the audiobook club in the Discord group. I loved the book. Deacon? What? Deacon. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Deacon and Grady were wonderful together. Kale and Sean did a great job. And it'd been a while since I'd listened to Kale. And really long time since I listened to Sean. It was a small town they live in, and once everyone found out they were together, the rumor mill ran wild. And Declan apparently lost Deacon. Oh my God. Lost his wife 3 years before, and Grady went to the small town after losing his best friend, who was Deacon's brother-in-law. And they ended up getting together. I love Kale's narration, and I usually do. He does a wonderful job. Sean's I liked, and he did a great job, but for me, he did sound a little bored in some places. And when he did his sexy times, it just sounded like he was reading off the page. Almost like he was bored.
By the way, that's what we're supposed to do is read off the page. They get, like, every time Tracy will correct me, they don't let us write it.
You know what I mean? Like, perform, you perform.
What you want them to do is you prefer. Now, there's 2 different styles here. We're going to discuss this for a second because it's important. We haven't done this in quite a little while. There's 2 different styles to reading, okay? With what I do with MM Romance, and I believe what Kale does, and there's a couple other guys, we will emote a lot. So if we're in the middle of a sexy scene, you might hear an occasional grunt. We're trying to sound like we're actually having sex. That's one style. That's one approach to this. Now, this also plays into the actual narration. In a third-person narration, I will actually go into the emotional context of it. So instead of sounding like I'm just reading, oftentimes I will raise pitch, lower pitch, I will tremble, I will do all of these things to sound like I'm
and you will turn it into a game.
Sure, and it's a mode of reading. Some people absolutely love that. You are one of them, in fact, where you absolutely like the emotional content of the read itself.
Yeah.
And not just in the characters' lines, but outside of the characters' lines. There are other people that hate it. fucking hate it. I'm telling you. And whenever I have looked at reviews, that's like the line in the sand. Some people love that. Some people hate it. I remember a review where they were saying, this one was about me. I'm not such a big John Solo fan. When he gets into the sexy times, he sounds like he's really into the sexy times. And there was a negative review, right? Some people love it. Some people hate it. So it's different styles.
Yeah.
And when
And I was
matching it
just
with
about to get.
narration. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. I want to hear it.
Well, I know, and like I was going to say was I understand not everybody performs the same way. Some love him, and he has a sexy voice, but his narration just fell flat for me. But other than that, I love the book. I mean, I was getting to that before you kindly interrupted me.
Wow. Well, I mean, you are normally the one that rambles here. I understand, but I had a little ramble.
No, you're the one that usually rambles.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and not just about the sexy times themselves. I didn't used to really get into the sexy times until I started performing in Discord, and I started to understand, like, the crowd reacted more to that. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Especially the growls.
Betty had a great point. Oh, geez, a review like that will attract more listeners. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It's like when I see a comedian canceled now. That makes me want to go look up at that comedian and listen to more. Like, oh, he must be funny. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely so.
I do love Sean. Don't get me wrong. I love him. He's awesome. He's a great narrator. I don't listen to him very often. But, I mean, like you said about 3 years ago, narrators are like food. Not everybody's going to like the same thing.
Right, but don't put them in your mouth. That one, you said 3 bullets. Is that? And congratulations.
Yeah, 3
we
bullets.
all knew that everybody was going to be listening to this. And a stylistic choice, but we do appreciate your honesty in your review. Next we had, and I've seen this one before.
Well, I haven't reviewed it before, but yeah. I wanted to do a
Did you drink before that? Be honest. Have you been drinking this morning?
No, I did last night, though.
Hey-o.
I wanted to do a re-listen to this, even though I couldn't stop giggling throughout the whole thing. I did give this one a bullet breaker.
Hey-o.
Yeah, I realized I haven't reviewed this before, so it was a quick listen, so I figured, like, why not? Duet with John and Nick. And when I listened to it the first time, it was extremely hot. I couldn't stop giggling since you had told me what happened during the production of this audio and that how you and Nick kept making each other laugh and mess up.
There's lots of stories about me and Nick, and there's actually been fan fiction written about me and Nick at this point. Thank you so much, Jane and Lissa. But
yeah, I've written one.
There's been a lot of it going on, but I will never forget this. This was a fantastic recording experience, and I love Nick J. Russo to death. I obviously give him a ton of shit, and he does as well.
Yeah.
For me. But
you didn't have Neumann then either, did you?
No, that was all off
It
the old
it
SM7B.
sounds like it.
Oh, I bet. But also, we love Jenna, too. She's been nothing but gracious about this entire thing. Now, she's moved on. She's actually using a different narrator to finish a series because, to be quite honest, me and Nick we're not the cheapest out there. When you combine it together to do a duet, it ain't cheap. But, I mean, we would certainly be open to doing something like this again. It ain't cheap. But if you got a book for a duet, we would love to do it. And because Nick lives in town, that makes this so much easier. But you said you gave this one a bullet breaker, so the sexy times in there still worked for you even while you were giggling. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with laughing during sexy times.
Well, I just kept on giggling because I knew how, like, you two are with each other. And what you had told me that you were trying to mess each other up and, like, or stare at each other when the other one was reading the sexy times. And that, I never forgot that. So I just kept on giggling.
Well, never in my, when I was a kid, I was going to be a rock star, right? Never in my wildest did I imagine myself standing next to another straight white dude in my recording booth recording these scenes about two guys fucking. It didn't cross my mind that this would be in one of those moments, you may ask yourself, how did I get in this recording booth? It's one of those moments. It was great though. We loved it to death.
But it is a great book.
Yeah, and we love Jenna too. Thank you so much for letting us do that. Now, next we had
Malicious Midpoint by Alice Winters and Greg Boudreau. Not Tremblay, not this time. I gave this one 3 bullets, but 5 stars. I love the series. Alice and Greg are amazing together. The characters Miles and Havoc, a mage and a demon, are hilarious and love each other and are just so amazing. I do believe it left it open for another book, which I'm excited about. And I love how she can make me tear up one minute and make me laugh my ass off the next minute. So, but yes, I did extremely love this one.
Yeah, well, Alice and Greg are both legends in the industry at this point, and yeah, you did say Tremblay wrong, but that's all right. But you said 3 bullets, 5 stars. So not as many sexy times, but a fantastic.
No, there's like only 2, but of course Alice's books doesn't revolve around sexy times. It's more the story than.
Good.
And I rather enjoy her books.
Everybody does.
Especially when she's got Greg narrating.
I've never read an Alice Winters book, nor have I ever read an Alice Winters review, but I seriously doubt from the reputation that Alice has that anyone is saying, I don't like Alice Winters. There's just how.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody say that.
Exactly. How would you not like?
She's just amazing.
That one, congratulations, by the way. I know it's not a new release by any stretch, but we cannot.
It is.
It is? I thought that.
Yeah, it came out.
One is this
it was
series?
It was earlier in the show, but it came out.
I want to top this shit here. No, I mean, this series has been around for a while, so my apologies. Congratulations on the release again, then. And I know that everyone is going to be listening to that. Now, you read one book this week. I'm a little scared to link this in the YouTube description, so if you can't find this in the YouTube description.
It's perfectly tame.
Okay, I believe you, but this is what you read this week.
Yeah. Stargazing with a Ghost by K.L. Hires. It's part of a multi-author series again. I got this for the ARC for them. And I gave this one 5 bullets and 5 stars. I didn't want to put it down, but of course I had to sleep sometime. Seems anything they do, I'm a big fan of. Grant and Huck are 2 of the MCs. Grant is a medium, and Huck is a ghost. There's a TV crew that does ghost investigations, and they go to this hotel for 3 months, where Grant and Huck meet, and then ghost sex happens. There are a few other ghosts that like to play little jokes on the others, and one will get super pissed off if a bell doesn't go off at a certain time. I found that one interesting. The ghostly sexy times were extremely hot, and by the end of the book, I was sad to see it end. They did an amazing job. This is the first book of an 8-book series by different authors, and I can't wait to read the other ones.
There's a lot of these combined universe deals going on right now. We'll call it that. Where a bunch of different authors.
Yeah, Ashlyn Mills has got the second one, I do believe, and I've got it in my library ready to read.
Well, and this is so good for not only new authors, but really for any authors just to expose to a new crowd. That's the entire concept behind this type of series as far as the business side of it goes, is you get to be exposed. Let's say somebody really loves Alice Winters, and Alice Winters is in one of these. New readers might jump over and then read a K.L. Hires book, even though they haven't heard of K.L. Hires or Ashlyn or somebody like that, for instance. And you get to be exposed to new authors based on the series. It's absolutely wonderful. And they're going to keep narrators in business, just like the Vino Veritas thing. So I'm a huge fan.
They may not do the narrators for this one, but
They
yeah.
may, they may not, but we shall fucking see, right?
Also, the what was I going to say? Mortician Knight's book for the Brutal from the Mafia series.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, I did buy that one yesterday.
Did you read it yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, well, now we know what you're doing after the show today, which is awesome.
No, after the show today, I've got to run Mom around town.
Are you running?
She's got to get a new... No, I'm not running.
Jogging
Driving,
thing?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. I don't know. I mean, dude.
She's got to go to the store and get her renew her driver's license. So
Nice. Well, you have fun doing that. I'm going to be sitting right here on my bouncy ball recording more stuff today. Today I'm working on the Vet Shop Boys book. So hopefully I can get that knocked
without
out
us.
out. Without you today, yes. Don't worry. Very soon. See, absence makes the heart grow stronger. That's what I hear. Now, I'm not very good at these old-timey sayings, but stronger.
You had a whole list of
like-
the old-timey sayings
yeah,
once upon a
but-
time.
That makes sense that it doesn't do good for cardio. Thank you so much, Alyssa. You put everything together. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'll be popping this up on YouTube. It'll be up tomorrow there. Enjoy. I will
Last
see
week's
everyone.
episode still got to go up on YouTube, too.
Yeah, I messed that whole thing up, but I will explain that to you later. Anyways, have fun. Wave at the camera. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out.
Bye.